My name's Colonel Jeff Pixley. I'm the commander of basic military training. Thank you for joining the United States Air Force. Thank you for raising your hand and promising to give of yourself, to sacrifice, to do something that most Americans never do. You probably want to know how to be successful in basic military training. Fight for yourself. Don't give up on yourself, and when you're about to, work with each other, lean on each other, because you'll be successful when you're a team.
Remember why you are here. Remember those people that came before you. Everything that you do needs to come with a passion and a vigor that is unmatched.
When you leave basic military training, you're going to understand how to wear the uniform. You're going to understand what it is to live by the core values, and you're going to know the value of your teammates. If you live up to my expectations, you'll be here 7 weeks from today, and you'll be about to graduate.
At this time, we'd like to take a moment to inform you of the specific flight locations on the parade field, as viewed from the bleachers from your left to your right. Flight 686, led by Technical Sergeant Dale Bonnell. Flight 687, led by Technical Sergeant Michael Ang. Academic Excellence Flight, Flight 690, led by Technical Sergeant Alicia Williams. PT Excellence Flight, Flight 691, led by Technical Sergeant Ijalon Kimbrough. Flight 694, led by Staff Sergeant Caleb Johnson. Flight 695, led by Master Sergeant Theron Grooms. Flight 696, led by Technical Sergeant Isarel McDowell. Flight 697, led by Technical Sergeant Tony Segura. In the center of the parade field is the color guard, led by Master Sergeant Casey Allen. The flights selected to carry our national, state, and territorial flags are flights 688 and 689, led by Technical Sergeant Joseph Campbell. Flight 698, led by Technical Sergeant Nigel Cotton. Flight 699, led by Technical Sergeant Matthew Giroux. Flight 700, led by Technical Sergeant Ryan Wood. Flight 701, led by Staff Sergeant Justin Colmer. Flight 702, led by Technical Sergeant Allison Terrell. Flight 703, led by Technical Sergeant Kyle Young. Flight 692, led by Technical Sergeant Oscar Llamas. Flight 693, led by Technical Sergeant Michelle Holt. A Squadron Commander, led by Staff Sergeant Nicholas Stedding. Detachment 1 Staff, led by Sergeant Jelani Alcott. At this time, please find a place to sit. Thank you and enjoy today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of our official party. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the invocation given by Chaplain Jackson.
If you are so willing, please join me in prayer. Awesome and mighty God, we are gathered here today to celebrate a transition. It is a transition from civilian to airmen and guardians. It is a transition from trainee to service member. It's a transition from learning about to walking out. And today, looking to their future, I bless them. Lord, may you be with them. May you keep them. May you go before them, sustain them, and protect them. And as they go out from here and into their futures, may you remind them of the great accomplishments that they have done. May they be uplifted when they are down, strengthened when they feel weak, and supported when they feel alone. I speak blessing over them in your name. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's Basic Military Training Graduation Ceremony. We would like to introduce our distinguished guests, beginning with the host for today's ceremony. The Commander, Air Force Basic Military Training, Colonel Jeff Pixley, accompanied by his wife, Andrea. The Acting Senior Enlisted Leader, Air Force Basic Military Training, Chief Master Sergeant Antonia Cardona. The reviewing official for today, the Commander, Space Delta One, Colonel Jason Schramm. The Senior Enlisted Leader, Space Delta One, Chief Master Sergeant Andrew Ming. From the Graduating Squadron, the Commander, 326 Training Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Nicholas Smith. The Acting Senior Enlisted Leader, 326 Training Squadron, Master Sergeant Nikisha McCackron. The Commander, 1 Delta Operations Squadron, Detachment 1, Major Clinton Emery. The Acting Senior Enlisted Leader, 1 Delta Operations Squadron, Detachment 1, Master Sergeant Eric Mistro. Also in attendance with us today, the Commander, 37th Training Wing, Colonel Lauren Corshane. The Acting Command Chief, 37th Training Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Yusef Saad. The Vice Commander, 37th Training Wing, Colonel John Odell III, accompanied by his wife, Josefina. The Commander, Special Warfare Training Wing, Colonel Nathan Kalunga. The Command Chief, Special Warfare Training Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Tessa Fontaine. Although time does not permit us to introduce all of our distinguished guests, the 737th Training Group is proud to welcome each of you. We hope you enjoy today's ceremony. Our Commander of Airmen is Master Sergeant Jasmine Allen. Colonel Jason Schramm will review today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. Over the last 7.5 weeks, the men and women before you have transformed from civilians into motivated, disciplined warriors with the foundation to serve in the most powerful military the world has ever known. Once they leave basic military training, they will continue on to technical training to learn the skills needed to perform in one of 118 specialties. They will then move on to serve at one of 84 installations around the globe or work directly with our sister services. As they move on to technical training, they will continue to focus on adapting to military requirements, achieving occupational proficiency, and learning how to be highly productive members of the armed forces. These men and women will prepare for increased responsibilities and must ensure they are trained, qualified, and ready to deploy and operate in an expeditionary environment. These graduates are the future of our national defense and will pave the way for the generations that will follow. 737th Training Group, United States Air Force. Joint Base San Antonio-Lackland, Texas. Subject, Commander's Excellence. The Commander's Excellence Streamer is awarded to Flight 687 for their significant accomplishments demonstrating teamwork, excellence, and esprit de corps during the period of 5 September 2022 to 21 October 2022. Signed, Jeffrey Pixley, Colonel, United States Air Force. The Commander's Excellent Flight was led by Technical Sergeant Michael Ang and Staff Sergeant Raul Pena. Of the hundreds of thousands of American citizens that enter the workforce each year, less than 1% have joined the ranks of the United States military. The graduates before you have reached a milestone in their military journey and will require your continued support to assist them in their future endeavors.
Command in review.
Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates passing in review today represent a portion of the 35,000 men and women who will complete basic military training this year. The 737th Training Group provides all recruits the essential military training to become motivated members of the world's greatest Air Force. The military training instructors are responsible for the indoctrination, development, and discipline of the airmen and guardians. They have dedicated endless hours to ensure all training objectives are met. Today's graduates have proven through academic studies, military training, physical training, and the development of teamwork that they are ready to take their place in the United States Armed Forces. As our graduates turn left onto the bomb run to pass and review, they will march over the Enlisted Heroes Walk. The men and women recognized on the pavers have been awarded our nation's highest honors, representing heroic and unselfish actions as members of the United States military in armed conflict. Their decorations include 9 Medals of Honor, 23 Air Force Crosses, and 162 Silver Stars, awarded for bravery during encounters with hostile enemy combatants. These enlisted heroes serve to inspire all service members to execute their duties courageously and with honor in their service to this great nation. We would like to direct your attention to our national, state, and territorial flags. As these flags pass in review, please stand and render the appropriate courtesies for our national flag. As a reminder, military members and veterans in uniform will stand at attention and render a salute. We ask that our civilian guests stand and place their right hand over their heart. Veterans and military members not in uniform may either render a salute or place their right hand over their heart. Once the flags have passed, please be courteous of others and be seated in order to allow all our guests the opportunity to view the flights as they pass in review. Now passing in review, the Commander of Airmen, Master Sergeant Jasmine Allen, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Toledo, Ohio. The A Squadron Staff, led by Staff Sergeant Nicholas Stedding, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Bellevue, Illinois. Flight 686, led by Technical Sergeant Dale Bonnell, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Allen Woods, Pennsylvania. Commander's Excellence Flight, Flight 687, led by Technical Sergeant Michael Eng, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Long Beach, California. Academic Excellence Flight, Flight 690, led by Technical Sergeant Alicia Williams, Military Training Instructor Trainer, hometown, Virginia Beach, Virginia. PT Excellence Flight, Flight 691, led by Technical Sergeant Ijalon Kimbrough, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Norfolk, Virginia. Flight 694, led by Staff Sergeant Caleb Johnson, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Owego, New York. Flight 695, led by Master Sergeant Theron Grooms, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Decatur, Georgia. Flight 696, led by Technical Sergeant Isarel McDowell, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Greenwood, Mississippi. Flight 697, led by Technical Sergeant Tony Segura, military training instructor, hometown, San Diego, California. The Color Guard, led by Master Sergeant Casey Allen, military training instructor, hometown, Barnwell, South Carolina. The flights selected to carry our national, state, and territorial flags. Flight 688 and 689, led by Technical Sergeant Joseph Campbell, military training instructor trainer, hometown, Toledo, Ohio. Flight 698, led by Technical Sergeant Nigel Cotton, military training instructor trainer, hometown, Biloxi, Mississippi. Flight 699, led by Technical Sergeant Matthew Giroux, military training instructor, hometown, Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Flight 700, led by Technical Sergeant Ryan Wood, military training instructor, hometown, Montesano, Washington. Flight 701, led by Staff Sergeant Justin Colmer, military training instructor trainer, hometown, Greenville, Tennessee. Flight 702, led by Technical Sergeant Allison Terrell, military training instructor, hometown, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Flight 703, led by Technical Sergeant Kyle Young, military training instructor trainer, hometown, Wilmington, North Carolina. The Detachment 1 staff, led by Sergeant Jelani Alcott, military training instructor, hometown, Kau, Hawaii. Flight 692, led by Technical Sergeant Oscar Yamas, military training instructor, hometown, San Antonio, Texas. Flight 693, led by Technical Sergeant Michelle Holt, military training instructor trainer, hometown, St. Louis, Missouri. Ladies and gentlemen, rendering a flying salute to our graduated airmen are 4 T6 Alphas. Call sign, Prey 21 Flight. Prey 21 is flown by Lieutenant Colonel Roleg. Prey 22 is flown by Lieutenant Colonel De La Fuentes and Major Barna. Prey 23 is flown by Captain Sobchuk. Prey 24 is flown by Major Raisinin and Lieutenant Colonel Healy. These aircrafts are from the 12th Flying Training Wing, JBSA-Lackland, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing and singing of the Air Force and Space Force songs. Thank you. You may be seated. Musical support for this morning's ceremony has been provided by trainees from the 320th Training Squadron, performing under the direction of Master Sergeant Nathan Heald, military training instructor, hometown, Raleigh, North Carolina. These individuals have been hand-selected to perform for today's ceremony. In addition to completing all basic military training syllabus and training requirements, Drum and Bugle Corps members commit additional training hours for practice throughout their weeks of training. Their extra effort and commitment demonstrate teamwork and the Air Force core value, service before self. With each Drum and Bugle Corps performance, they honor the long-standing tradition of live music at formal military ceremonies. We would like to take a moment to congratulate all of our honor graduates as well as their families. Basic military training honor graduates distinguish themselves by being ranked in the top 10% of all graduates in their class. The exceptional personal dedication, integrity, service before self, and sustained excellence they displayed throughout basic military training earned them this outstanding distinction. As the flights march forward for the oath of enlistment, we would like to thank all of the families and friends who are here in support of those graduating today. Your words of encouragement helped motivate these graduates through 7.5 weeks of basic military training. On behalf of the United States military and basic military training, we extend our thanks to the many families and friends of America for your support of our mission and the greatest air and space power the world has ever known. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Jason Schramm will now come forward and address our graduating class.
Good morning, everybody, and a huge congratulations to the Airmen and Guardians standing out here on the field this morning. You have just accomplished something incredible, and I hope you are as proud of yourselves as I am of you. And I'm certain that all of these family and friends that are here today are even more proud of you than words can express. Whether you found BMT to be just a minor inconvenience or the hardest thing you've ever done in your life, you still just passed through a door that very few Americans choose to walk through. In fact, all of you just joined a very exclusive group. Only 0.4% of the American population is currently in the military. And if you're a Guardian, you make up only 0.5% of the military. So you are truly part of a small but powerful force. So all of you should hold your heads up high. Go ahead and walk with a little swagger in your step. You've earned it. Though I never had the pleasure of attending basic training, I did get to spend 4 weeks right here at Lackland in the summer of 1996 going through ROTC field training. I stood right where you are now for our graduation parade as I kicked off my career in the Air Force. I spent just over 22 years in the Air Force before transferring to the Space Force 2 years ago. And now I am proud to lead Space Delta 1, which oversees all training for the Space Force, including the detachment and the MTIs that just led these Guardians through the last 7.5 weeks of fun and relaxation in the warm Texas sun. As the person in charge of Space Force training and as a former Air Force Training Squadron commander, I can tell you that there is a common theme that all of you, whether Air Force or Space Force, will experience, both in the near future and throughout your careers. And that common theme is training. You just finished the first training event of your new military careers, but you have a lot more to come. Every one of you will now move on to more training for your specific career field. You might stay here at Lackland and train to become security forces. You might go to Goodfellow, train to become an intel professional. Or maybe a lucky few of you get to come out to Vandenberg Space Force Base where we live and train to become space operators. And then the military will continue to send you to more and more training and education throughout your careers. So why do we do all that training? That brings me to the main purpose of why all of you are standing here today. It's why the United States needs to have a military at all. We need you because of the threat to our nation. A quick scan of any internet news site will make it clear that countries like Russia, China, North Korea, they're doing their best to catch up and surpass our military might. Make no mistake, we are the most technologically advanced and powerful military in history, but they are pouring billions of dollars a year into improving their warfighting capabilities so that they can challenge us on the world stage. But they do not have the level of quality in their enlisted force that we have. That's our big advantage. We recruit and train our Air Force and Space Force enlisted members to make them the smartest, the most agile, and the most innovative enlisted force in the world. That is why we will train you so much. China might have twice as many people in their military as the US does, and they can march and follow orders, but you can think, and that's what we need you to do. We need you to challenge the status quo, come up with new tactics, understand how to fight a difficult adversary. Each of you will have a critical role in creating that military power, and don't ever think that your job doesn't matter. This country would not be spending money on having you process orders as a personnelist, or writing stories in public affairs, or installing new power lines as a civil engineering troop if it were not critical to underpinning our air and space power. Some of your jobs will have a more direct effect on the battlefield than others, but every single one of you is absolutely necessary if we want to maintain our advantage. Ultimately, we train so hard so we don't have to fight. We want to be so strong that our enemies don't dare attack us. That's why we train hard now, in peacetime. We can't wait until the war starts to begin our military training. We have to be ready. So you get to take a well-deserved break right now, but then take your next training seriously. Learn the material inside and out. Become the best cyber defender, the best F-16 mechanic, the best finance specialist that you can be. The threat is real, and our country needs you to be at the top of your game. So once again, congratulations to our newest Airmen and Guardians, and congratulations to all the family and friends here today. I want to personally thank you for entrusting your loved ones to us. We will ask a lot of them, perhaps someday even the ultimate sacrifice, but we will train them well, and we will give them the skills they can use for the rest of their lives, both in and out of the military. Graduates, whether you stay in 4 years or 24 years, I thank you for your sacrifice and for signing up to serve your country. I am so proud to wear this uniform alongside you, and I am confident that our country will remain secure with people like you guarding our skies and the ultimate high ground of space. Airmen aim high, and Guardians semper supra. All right. Are you ready to join the ranks of the world's greatest air and space forces? All right. Please raise your right hands and repeat after me.
Instructors, place your flights at attention. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as Colonel Jason Schramm will now administer the oath of enlistment.
Raise your right hands and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States. And the orders of the officers appointed over me. According to the regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Congratulations, Airmen and Guardians.
Thank you, Colonel Jason Schramm. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing while our graduates recite the Airman's Creed and for the departure of the official party. I am an American airman.
I am a warrior. I have answered my nation's call. I am an American airman. My mission is to fly, fight, and win. I am grateful to a proud heritage, a tradition of honor, and a legacy of valor. I am an American airman, guardian of freedom and justice. My nation's sword and shield, its energy and avenger. I defend my country with my life. I am an American airman, wingman, leader, warrior. I will never leave anyone behind. I will never falter.
As a reminder, military members and veterans in uniform will stand at attention and render a salute as the U.S. flag packs. We ask that our civilian guests stand and place their right hand over their heart. Veterans and military members not in uniform may either render a salute or place their right hand over their heart. Once the flag packs, please be courteous of others and be seated in order to allow all our guests the opportunity to view the flights as they pass in review. As viewed from the bleachers to the left of the reviewing stand, flights 686, 687, 690, 69.